What would Cooper do?
Okay.
Are you ready?
WWCD.
What would Cooper do? I think we need to have a bracelet that says that. So every time you think about doing something, you look down and go, yeah, what would Cooper do?
And then if you follow it, you need a bracelet you could burn afterwards. Oh, I listened to that stupid bitch.
Yeah, I don't think in my life you've really had good advice.
No, I've never given you good advice. I've always given you terrible advice. How about this? Every time I give you advice, just do the opposite.
That's probably right.
Yeah. If I tell you to do something, be like, that's the one thing not to do.
Okay, so my son moved out a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he moved out. He got an apartment. It's an older apartment. They've had issues with the apartment.
Like what? Like stuff leaking, you mean?
Like they need to put a new dishwasher in because the dishwasher they have is crap. They need to replace some cabinets. They need to replace, some vents. And It's just an older apartment.
Right.
And it's owned by a management company that, owns 40 different places. So the person is never there. They don't have the super like we had that you could bribe.
Right.
So, you have to deal with the manager who's never there, and it's a whole thing. So he's not happy at all. Can't stand his roommate. Him and his roommate have been fighting nonstop.
Whoa.
So, he even called to ask how he could get out of the lease, which I said is not cool.
Yeah, can't.
You're going to stick your roommate with the whole rent. That's not cool. So his roommate is a Trump person. Brandon really isn't a Trump person.
But Brendan knew this about the kid going in, right? That's not new information.
I don't think it was extreme as he thought.
I see.
So, because he moved in before the election, then after the election, they're kind of fighting with each other. So when they go out to the store, the kid won't wear a mask.
Oh, that's a problem.
Because he doesn't believe in masks. And, the whole election was a scam. So Brandon's dealing with that.
Okay, that's a lot to deal with. That's too much to deal with at his age.
So on top of him not liking the apartment, him not getting along with his roommate, so we get a call tonight from Brandon. His roommate has COVID.
No way.
Tested positive today for COVID.
Oh, God, he's got to get out of there immediately. He can't live with somebody with COVID. That's first of all, that's 100%. He's got to get out of there.
But he's got a job there.
Okay, can he live at your house and still go to that job?
No.
It's too far away.
Too far away. Couldn't do it.
Oh, man.
So, do you, he's so pissed, it's not even funny right now. Because, he told his roommate the whole time, wear a mask. No. Now he's got COVID.
Now the guy's COVID, yeah.
Now the guy's got COVID. So should Brandon, tell his work?
That what? That his roommate has COVID?
Yes.
And what would they do?
Well, the minute you even say COVID to your job, they're going to tell you, stay home.
Quarantine.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that type of job where you get paid for the 2 weeks that you're not there. You don't work, you don't get paid.
I don't think that's per job. I think legally, if you have COVID, they force you to quarantine. Don't they have to keep paying them?
No, because you're an hourly employee.
I see.
So, but he hasn't been tested positive for COVID. His roommate has.
Has Brandon gotten tested?
He got tested a few months ago. He hasn't been tested lately.
No, he's got to get tested now. He's got to get tested now.
And he will get tested now. But should you tell the job? Should you call them up and say, my roommate has COVID, just letting you know?
He has to get tested and say, my roommate has COVID, I don't. I'm just letting you know. Because it's the responsible thing to do. You have to tell your job, but the second they're going to ask you, do you have it as well? So he has to be able to say, no, I tested negative. I'm good. So the first thing he's got to do is get tested immediately, like literally first thing tomorrow. There are some tests that they can do now where they do a throat culture and they can get you the results back in 24 hours. So I would do that one. And as soon as he has the results, that way he can go say to his boss, my roommate has COVID. I do not. I was tested yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, call up your job and say, A, my roommate has COVID. We just learned that today. B, we don't have the same bathroom. We have separate bathrooms, separate bedrooms. I really haven't been around the guy that much. Should I get tested? I don't know the protocol.
No, he should definitely get tested.
Yeah, but I'm saying ask their advice.
Ask their advice. Do you require that I quarantine? Do you require what's
I wouldn't even bring up quarantine. On an hourly wage, I wouldn't even bring up quarantine.
That's true.
I would bring up, what's my next step? Should I get a test? How should we work this?
Right.
Because the bad thing is Brandon works at the hospital.
Right. Oh, well, okay. If he works at a hospital, they probably have a very strict policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't tell me what he did for a living. If he's at a hospital around sick people, they're going to make him quarantine, and he should quarantine.
Yeah, his basic job is to sterilize stuff for surgery.
Oh, okay. So I'm just telling you now, they're going to tell him to quarantine, and he should get in his car, go to your house, and quarantine in his room.
But why would he come here and get me sick?
Because quarantining next to a guy that's not going to... You think his roommate who has COVID is just going to stay in his room?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying there's a 50% chance he could bring COVID here.
Oh, that's true. That's a good
Right
point.
now, he's not here. There's 100% chance that it's not here.
Right. That's a very good point. Okay, so I guess, you know what? Then he's going to have to just lock himself up in his room and just stay away from the sick roommate.
Mm-hmm.
In every way he possibly can. Question number 2 is, whose name is on the lease? Both of their names?
Both.
All right. So he has got to go to his landlord as well and say, roommate A tested positive for COVID.
Okay.
So what's your policy? And can we get out of this lease?
Oh, so use the COVID to get out of the lease totally.
Yes, I would.
I wonder their policy on that.
I would say he refuses to wear a mask. He has COVID. He's a health risk. I don't think it's safe for other people in other apartments around here. If I were you, I would kick us out.
We are very bad leaseors. You should kick us out right now. Because the person above him, the person next to him, they don't know he's got COVID.
I wonder if it's like if you're a pedophile and you get out of prison and you have to go tell your neighbors.
Hello? Can I talk to you for a second? I'm a pederast.
Well, you can't knock on the door if you have COVID.
Oh.
But I mean, like, slip a note under the door and say, hey, by the way, hi, person in apartment 7B, I have COVID.
Yeah, because you don't know what kind of apartment that is if all the heating system is connected.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Through one building.
I think HIPAA laws prevent the building from disseminating that information. Like my building, for example, we've asked them, has anybody here had COVID? And so far they've said no. Yeah, I'm more concerned with Brandon. I don't like the fact that he's living with such an irresponsible person.
I went to a store today, 5 people I counted out of 20 didn't have a mask on at all. So that's the South. That's what we deal with every day.
I don't understand how you deal with that. You don't walk up to a manager and say, hi, there's a national pandemic going on. I'm sorry, worldwide pandemic going on. You have to have people wearing masks here. And those 5 people are not. What are you going to do about it?
And the manager will say, excuse me, I get paid no money. I hate my job. And if I bring it up to them, they're going to bite my head off.
The numbers are higher now than they were in April.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It's going, I mean, yes, you've got to start shaming people. I'm sorry. You got to start shaming people.
It's now hit home to me, and now it's really close. It's 50% away from me.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing. And it's almost Thanksgiving. So he's going to be in quarantine during Thanksgiving because his idiot roommate wouldn't wear a mask.
Good. It's better than coming home and giving his grandparents COVID.
I know. I agree. He's making grown-up decisions. He's got to live up to those grown-up decisions.
That's true.
And one of his decisions was to move out and to sign a lease. And I will not let him move out and leave his roommate high and dry. That's not right.
Oh, no, it's not. He can't do that. If his name is on the lease, Are you kidding me? The lawsuits he can have, that roommate can come after him. The landlord can come after him. If your name is on the lease, you're screwed. See, I did it when I was his age, but I wasn't that stupid. I had somebody else's name on the lease. You see, my name was not on the lease. Hers was. That way, when I realized she was, bat crazy, I mean, out of her mind, I didn't just move out. I waited till she was away for a weekend, and I had a friend of mine come over with a van, and I put all my stuff in that van, and I moved into an undisclosed location, like I was in witness protection. And I got as far away from her as I possibly could.
And that was before Twitter and Facebook and your cell phone.
Yep,
you
that's
can
right.
really disappear from your roommate. Now you can't disappear because you're...
Oh, yeah. As far as she knew, I changed my name. Like, she couldn't find me.
That was evil.
I changed my number. I didn't have a cell phone. There's no cell phones at the time. It was right before cell phones. So I was able to change my number and everything. I literally disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, I never spoke to her again.
Your name used to be Amy. So you totally changed your name and everything. It was Amy Fatback. And now it's Cooper Lawrence. So she totally changed your name.
Still got the fat back though. But that's the lesson. Let somebody else put their name on everything. Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him do it. He can't. You're going to have to.
I took that risk with you. My name was on everything.
I know.
You could have split it any time. What were you doing sticking around, dummy?
I ask myself that every single night. Every night I laid in bed going, oh, let me set my alarm for 3:30. Oh, God, I got to wake up at 3:30. And I got to wake up and go dig my car out of the snow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I got to deal
that
with.
That was fun.
And then I got to deal with Cooper on top of that. So you have Cooper, you have snow, you have 3:30 in the morning. It's not good. But I lasted.
You didn't realize your name wasn't on the lease. You could have split at any moment.